Hello everybody and welcome to what should be an interesting set of videos, or maybe just this video, we'll see how it goes, where I, a game developer who's currently working on a horror game, is going to do research on Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which is my personal favorite horror game of all time. And basically we're going to play through this game and we're going to take notes and we are going to just learn from one of the titans of all horror games, and hopefully I can give you guys a neat perspective as a game dev. Normal mode. Yeah, we're gonna play normal. We don't need to do hard mode. Start new game. Yes. So things we're gonna be looking for are, first off, the intro. What's happening? Let's see.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me
Throws you straight into the story.
My name is
Narrative
Daniel.
immediately.
I live in London.
You've got some establishing shots of the scenery,
What have I done?
which is also the storytelling,
Don't forget.
because it's supposed to be Daniel walking through.
I must stop him. Focus. My name is. I am Daniel.
Okay, so it throws you straight in. So we're gonna write that down. Throw straight to narrative. Okay. So the reason that it does that is because the narrative is exciting. It gets you hooked immediately. The game immerses you the second you hit the play button. It says, "Get ready. This shit's about to get real." So we're gonna say throw straight into your narrative, and we're gonna go ahead and write some parentheses and say exciting, right? Like, if that wasn't exciting, this whole setup wouldn't work. Basically, if we just woke up right here and started looking around, it wouldn't really mean anything. We'd be kind of bored. We'd be kind of lost. I mean, obviously we are lost, but obviously that's intentional. Also, I like the feedback that this gives. So, obviously, as someone that used to speedrun this game, I know a lot about it. But I love the feedback where you look at the door, boom. It takes up a good portion of the screen. It says, hey, there's something here you can interact with. It doesn't tell you what button to press, which could be good, could be bad. But obviously, it being such a good game, it worked out. I like the feedback on that, which I've already got that feedback in my game, so I'm not going to write that down. But it disappears whenever you start interacting. Interesting. Ours does not, but I really like that it disappears, because once you start interacting, that's feedback that whatever you're doing is working, right? If I click, it disappears. I know that I've now grabbed the door, so I actually need to write that down. So we're gonna do a second note of user experience feedback. So UX hand vanish when using. So basically that's just saying that's user feedback. That's saying, hey, your thing is working. All right. Also, I think there's more to actually break down here. We, as the player, we woke up, we looked around, and we seen there's one way to go, two ways to go, and then we can't go that way. So the game is already saying, explore. We didn't know which way to go, and we had to choose. I like that. So from the very get-go, the game says, you need to look around. So, we'll say direction choices. Some of these notes are going to be chicken scratch. It might not sound perfect as I say them out loud. They're just to re-invoke what I'm saying when I come back to them. Direction choices. Immediately, it's given us directions to go. And for those of us that turn and do look, the game rewards us. If you take a look, the game rewards us. See? Because we come in here and look. Bam! Already, there's some tinder. There's a tinder box. So, direction choices immediately, and we're rewarded for looking around. The game is immediately saying, if you look around, you're going to be rewarded. That is already training my brain. Okay, I need to look around. So instead of going this way, which seems to be the more open way to go, my inherent instinct is now to turn here, right? And there might be something, there might not be something, but it happened anyway. Okay, cool. I like that. Cool. So for the first 30 seconds of the game, we were thrown straight into the narrative, which created an inviting, exciting intro. Some user experience stuff, and then immediate direction. And if we go the way that would require us to look around, we're rewarded for it. Boom. Okay. Cool, so we've already learned all of that. So, what happens when we enter the big room? Nothing. What do we see? We basically just see the castle. If we look in here, are we going to be rewarded? No. Okay. See, I feel like I would like probably put another thing like right here, right? Because now your brain's like, ooh, really getting that dopamine from the looking around. But look, okay. Look how quickly something else is happening. Look at our camera. We're already like, oh my god, this game is just overbearing on my shoulders. Like, you can feel the stress building, right? Like, you had to listen to Daniel panicking. He passed out. There's ambience and rain, and then you come out here and it literally pushes you down. The game shoves so much atmosphere on you so quickly. The intro sequence is ridiculous. We're gonna say heavy quickly, and I'll remember what that means. Cool. So very, very heavy, very, very quickly. So if we take a walk in here, boom, again, jump scare, door flies open. But we're also introduced to this right here, right? Because now we know we can open this up, and look, we opened up a new mechanic, we opened this up, look, rewarded. Good job. Like, we're literally, the game developers like, sit dog, sit, hands us a treat. This is gonna happen repeatedly through the intro, and now that I'm pointing it out, you'll probably see it. I'll just type in secondary mechanic, which is still technically the same mechanic, but it's a different, it's a piece of furniture. It's something to hide in. It's something, it's different. We haven't encountered it yet. Secondary mechanic, quickly. Look how much is thrown on you so quick. Okay, interesting. They're not insulting the player's intelligence by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so we come in here. Honestly, nothing really in here. Once again, look, rewarded for exploration. And in a way, it's also teaching us that just because something scary happened does not mean you have something to fear. If anything, it's saying, if we're trying to scare you, there might be a reward within it, which happens multiple times throughout this game. So you go further, and then look, the second one, open it up, and we're not gonna, oh, we got a treat again. They're still teaching us. I didn't think that one had one for some reason. Push our way through, which, by the way, that's the first push door. Unless the first one was pushed too. I don't remember. Okay. So, I believe we come up here, and this is where, like, oh, I like that. Footsteps. This whole intro sequence is nothing but noises and, like, camera effects, but it's so effective. Which, honestly, is probably what I'm going to do for my intro, is something similar. And then here's us having PTSD over all the people dying. Spoilers. Ah. I like how they made that move. I like that. Okay. So I need to do a little recap in my head really quick of the gameplay elements because I'm focusing on so much. So just from getting from point A to point B, we had the intro, we had several mechanics taught to us, and we were given treats. And what keeps it interesting is spooky stuff keeps happening. Nothing in particular, just spooky in general. Okay. 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 Like, realistically, nothing that's happened has been story-based so far except the intro. And technically the noises whenever I pass out right there. Or not pass out, just whatever the fuck that was. Oh, see, more spooky stuff. Nothing in particular. Continuing to learn that I can move stuff around. And then in here, we're going to be rewarded for going into somewhere dark when we didn't have to. See? The game is going to keep rewarding us for doing things that we don't need to. Because in a game like this, you want to encourage people to look around. So this is the first scare room. See, and I'm glad that they finally added one where you don't need anything. This is good. Because now it's saying, okay, it's not always going to work. So this is the first scare room, which is neat because, you know, it gives you a lot to look at, right? It doesn't make the player look down like he's like looking for something. Look at it. It's saying, look up, look up. Like, look at the stuff. I'm writing this down. This is actually really clever. Look at the coloring of the paintings and the curtains, right? They're bright yellow and red, which makes your eyes want to look up, right? And, like, a player could be walking in because, you know, you just taught them to look down, like right here. Oh, there was a thing in there, right? So you come in here and it's like, oh, is there something over here, right? You're going to check the corner. No. The room says, look at me. There's so much cool shit. And the reason they're doing that, let's write this down. We're going to do bright, almost distracting walls. Draw attention. Also, I never noticed you can hear Daniel's breathing. I think that's only because it's the intro. I don't know. Alright. So, see, look, I'm looking up, right? Like, oh my god, look at all this cool stuff. And then the game goes, oh, you were interested in this cool shit? Have a scare. That's fucking smart. I like it. I've never thought about that, but that's a good horror technique. Distract into the fear, or into the scare. That's fucking smart. And then I don't know if you can get anything back here or not. I don't remember. Remember? Anybody remember? No, you can't. However, I think they weren't trying to reward you for going in the dark because your sanity starts to drop. Cool. So I need to start labeling these. Throw straight into narrative. This is a gameplay thing. UX, that's just a UX thing. Gameplay in the directions. Reward. Never noticed you could hear all that stuff moving around. Rewarded for looking. This is gameplay. Heavy, quickly. I should improve on that because I actually forgot what I meant for a second. Heavy, quickly, game elements. Which is, again, gameplay. Secondary, mechanic, quickly, also gameplay. Bright, distracting, walls draw attention, and also gameplay. Cool. You just start labeling them because we're going to have all kinds of stuff. So here, they play a bunch of noises. Which is good because when you walk forward, turn the lights down. I'm pretty sure, yeah, right here. Yeah, so this is a setup. This was a reverse setup to what just happened. The last one, oh gosh darn it, hold on. Let me get near light so I'm not draining my sanity while I talk. I don't think I drop in here. Yeah, no, I don't. At least I don't think I do. Nah, we're good. Okay. Fucking goddamn, what are these called? Cockroaches. I don't know. I forgot about that. So that was a reverse of what we just had. Because the first one was big, bright, inviting walls, right? Like, look up at me, right? This was the reverse. Scary, spooky noises followed by jump scare. So, both work and both already demonstrated to us. That's fucking genius. So, spooky noise, uninviting. Uninviting. I don't know how to spell. Spooky noise, uninviting, scare. Cool. I like that. There's two different types going on there. But for going into the spooky, look, once again, we were rewarded. And then obviously you can run around. We're like, oh, is there anything in here? Is this the first time they... No. They haven't taught us to look around like this yet, so I'm kind of wasting my time. It'll probably be obvious when they start showing up around there like that. Okay. So far, gameplay-wise, all we've really done is experience things and walk down hallways. I mean, honestly, it's all been scripted events. But horror is mostly scripted events. So this is something I want our camera to do. I'm gonna link Brian this part of the video. Hi Brian, you're now linked to this part of the video. Watch what the camera does. This is something I want the camera to do in our game if we signal it to. Are you ready? Watch. Wait for it. See that? I didn't do that. It said, hey, something important is happening over here. Take a look. But we still have full control, right? All it did was take the camera away for half a second to show us something, and then we got control again. All right, we picked up the lantern. Ooh, teaching us how to use chests. Look, once again, there's the treat for learning how to do something. F for lantern. It hasn't taught us that yet, though. And then, so this is an interesting situation where I'm hearing a bunch of noises, but I don't think there's a payoff. I don't think there's a payoff. No, there's not. It just makes a bunch of noises. Yeah. Interesting. So this time they were just trying to scare us. Well, I mean, the whole game's trying to scare us, but what I meant in particular is they weren't setting up a jump scare. But that's important. If you set up a jump scare every single time you do the bait, then the switch is eventually going to stop working. For the bait and switch to work, the bait can't be a switch every time. Alright, so that was basically the tutorial. Oh, there it is again, Brian, if you're still watching. So that was basically the tutorial, right? We went through, we found a bunch of stuff, it rewarded us for exploring, and we had to solve... Did we solve a basic puzzle? No, we haven't solved a basic puzzle yet. Okay. Mostly it was just narrative and letting us get used to the controls, which is perfectly fine. Picked up oil.
August 1830. Don't be a
More narrative, which, by the way, trope. We have notes telling us things. Very, very, very common horror trope. Alright. Pull this down. Come on now. Pull it down. There we go. Which opens up this, which brings us to the main game, which is the entrance hall. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here because I might make this a series if you guys find it interesting. If you do, like and comment and let me know. If you don't, just don't like and comment, I guess. Or do it to support me anyway and just leave a comment saying I don't care about this, but I want to support you. But yeah, let me know, and I'm gonna keep taking notes. I'll see you next time.